Hi everybody, glad to have you here. This tutorial is something it's kind of hard to put into words, to be honest. It's something that I came up with over the past few days, and I was realizing, hey, I can get a really good effect with my lashes if I just tweak a few of the techniques that I do with my eyeshadow and my eyeliner. And I'm someone who really likes to use false lashes. I love primarily the lift that they give the eye, just this nice, like, kind of upturned, wide awakened look. But for me to have kind of an alternate look that I can go with that still makes me feel really content, very pleased with the way my lashes look and just the whole effect of the overall eye. If I can be happy with that, especially with my less than amazing natural lashes, I think we're onto something here. We've got a good thing going. I will be using my In the Balm of Your Hand palette for this look, but this is something where you could plug in absolutely any shadows you have. So you'll want like a light kind of shimmery shade or metallic color, and then a deeper matte shade, and then also something that can really spotlight your look. It could even be a face highlighter. We're essentially using shadow to create the lift that lashes can give us when someone might see you from a distance and that, you know, you've got those false lashes on and you've got this beautiful, almost like cat-eyed effect out here. We're going to use shadow to do that, and we're going to use lighter shadows to create an absolute like backdrop for the innermost lashes and really help them stand out. So here is how I did it. I've already applied a little bit of eye primer on my lids through the crease and up to the brow. And then shadow-wise, I do just want to put a little wash of color in my crease, just so my crease is kind of accounted for all the way from left to right. We will be focusing a much darker shade really in the outer part of the crease, but I want everything to look nice and seamless. So I'm going to take Bahama Mama here, which is actually a bronzer shade, but it works perfectly as just that classic neutral crease color. And I'm just going to work that into my crease with my Sigma E25 brush. I'm going to go all the way to the inner corner and just get a little depth going on there. And of course, same thing over here on the other side. So step 2, I want a little bit lighter shade on the lid, and I'm going to use this pretty kind of like rose gold color called Mischievous Marissa, and I'm just going to pick that up with my Sonia Kashuk medium shadow brush and just pat that right here on the lid. This shade has such a pretty like golden sheen. I just love it. Now the next thing we want to do is bring in more darkness and kind of create the illusion that we've got a lash that is coming up like this, lifting our eye. You know that effect that you get when you've got a great set of falsies on, and you can really recreate that just with the shape of your eyeshadows. I'm going to use a matte shadow. I think that really works best since we've got shimmer on the lid. This will create the best contrast, so any deep matte shade you like. In this palette, it's this deep plum called Sexy, so I'm going to pick that up with a small crease brush. This is from MUA Makeup Academy Professional, and it's a 315. I got it from CVS. And I'm just going to work this into the outermost part of the crease. I like using a small brush here because I feel like I have tons of control. The shadow's going to go exactly where I place it. And then I'm going to kind of start working the shadow almost in a bit of a point up toward the tip of my eyebrow. Now I'm also just using this little brush. You could pull in a flat brush too, but I find this brush does a good job. It just looks really pretty when you overlap a little bit of that kind of peachy rose gold just on the outer part of the lid. Kind of just helps the blend of the whole look. And I'm just going to take a bare brush and do just a little bit of blending on the top part of where I've applied this shadow. But it really doesn't require much. I think it went on pretty easily, and then I'll just repeat that same step over here. Next up, I'm choosing not to line my upper lash line in the traditional sense of like just going straight across the lid, because I do feel like that takes away from the look of length with your lashes. But I am going to use my Milani Supreme Kohl Kajal eyeliner. I actually do like a little bit of tight lining here and just take it kind of on the upper inner rim. And I kind of think of this as just filling the gaps. You know, if your lashes are maybe a little sparse in some areas, just applying the liner right in this very, you know, fine and kind of under the radar place does make a little bit of a difference. And I'm also applying this pencil on my lower inner rim. And this is not necessarily like a must-do step for this tutorial to line your lower inner rim like this, but I think, you know, if I'm wanting just a little more dramatic look or trying to make it look a little more special and different, I'll go ahead and do this step. And then on the actual skin of your lower lash line, I like to apply a little bit of liner there as well, because it just makes it look a bit less stark, and when we go over this with a smudge brush and blend it, it just looks really soft and smoky. So two of my favorite lower lash line brushes. First off, the Sigma E21 smudge brush with nothing on it. I'm just kind of going over where that creamy liner is. And then I'm going to use this pencil brush, which just has a bit more fullness to it, and I'll go into my dark, like burgundy plum, and I'll just apply that here, mainly on the outer part of the lower lash line, kind of connecting it up to what's happening in our outer corner there on the top. And finally, as far as the shadow goes, I'm going to do a little bit of strategic spotlighting with this look, and it's great to have Mary Luminizer in the palette. This is a great highlighter all over the face. I do have it kind of right in here on the top of my cheeks. We're going to put this under the brow using my e.l.f. This is the blending brush. I love this little brush. And I'm just going to take that right up here, give us a little spotlight. Then I've got this little Sigma inner corner brush. Any small detailed brush that you have and enjoy will do for this step. I'm going to again pick up a little Mary Luminizer, and I'm going to brighten the inner corner, and I'm going to pull it up ever so slightly right in this little zone here. And this will fall into our strategy of having a little lower lash shimmery backdrop. I'm going to take a little bit of the Mischievous Marissa, a little bit of the Mary Luminizer, and I'm just going to dab those shades right here. So kind of right under the center of the eye. I'm not looking to make it like crazy light and frosty down there, but I just want a little brightness. It'll make a difference once you see the mascara on. Next up for me, this is a very important step, and it's to curl my lashes. And then I think you want to use the mascara that you know works best for your lashes here. For me, it's CoverGirl Supersizer because it holds my curl the best. It just makes my lashes look big. And the efforts we went to put lightness right here around the inner corner, you can see as I get the mascara on there, it gives those lashes a nice light backdrop. And we didn't apply liner that can potentially take away from the full look of the length of your lashes. So we're set up here to have a pretty nice spotlighted effect on the lashes themselves. It's almost like if someone were to see you up close, the effect they get is like, oh, the lashes are standing out nicely there in contrast with the lid. But if someone saw you from far away, your eye would look more dramatic due to what's happening out here in the outer corner. Does that make sense? These are just the topics that I mull over in my head while I'm like taking a shower and stuff. Another thing I really try to make a point to do is catch all those little bitty innermost lashes too, because those are going to be coming up right in front of our nice light shimmery eyeshadow. So take advantage of whatever you're working with there and get mascara on it. Then on the lower lash line, depending on what you enjoy, you might use your same mascara you used on the upper lashes. For me, I love my CoverGirl Clump Crusher Water Resistant just because I know it won't budge all day. And I do feel like having that little lightened up burst of shadow there on the lower lash line can help your lower lashes stand out quite a bit. Another thing I decided to do here on the lips, kind of once seeing how the eye all panned out, I wanted my lips to look a little less red. I already had on this Estee Lauder Pure Color Envy Sculpting Lipstick in Red Ego with a little bit of the LA Girl Endless Lip Liner in Wine. I just almost wanted to neutralize the color even more, so I took this NYX kind of brownish lip pencil in the shade Urban Cafe, and I really applied that just all around the outside, and then as I was kind of blending it in the inner part, I just used my finger to almost rub away a little bit of any product that's on there, and that helps you get sort of that ombre, little bit faded look. And another little trick here that I love to do, especially it works well with this mascara and several others that I have in my collection, but after it's pretty much all the way dry, like if you can touch your lashes and not see any product coming off on your hands, just gently blink down onto your finger. Like I kind of just put my fingers up there and look down and let the lashes rest there for a second. And this kind of reinforces the curl now that mascara is on there, and it really gets your lashes fully drying in a nice upturned way. It's really helpful for those of us like me, if you got straight lashes, just reinforcing that curl, it helps a lot. All right guys, so your finished look, I really feel like for my lashes to be looking this good without any falsies on, you know, I credit the mascara that I use really a whole lot for that. But also, like I said, when you pull back from a distance, the whole shape of the shadow just gives the eye the lift that many of us enjoy from a set of false lashes. I mentioned what was on my lips, and I'll just tell you real quickly, the other face products that I used came from this palette. I used the Bahama Mama bronzer for just a little light contour, and then my blush is a mix of the Hot Mama and the Instain blush. So just got a little soft glow there, and then I put the Mary Luminizer as my highlight just on top of the cheekbones. So this is a super handy palette. If you guys haven't checked it out, I really, really love that. So thank you again for your time. If you try this look, post a picture on Instagram, Snapchat me. I would love to see it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.